And let's go.
And now it's time for Bikes, Mics, and Idiots with your hosts, Ubi and Eric.
Alrighty, guys, here we go again.
Yes.
We got us another episode coming. And actually, before we start getting into anything, I've noticed that most people that end up watching any of our stuff are not subscribed, not anything.
Oh, man.
So we should encourage people to, subscribe to our
Click
channels.
the like button and subscribe.
Drop a comment, because
Just
We
pop
could
it
use-
like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot.
yeah, we could use some more topics too. Because people come up with some really random stuff. But how you been, Eric?
I am doing well. I'm very tired today. I worked last night, long night at work. Came home, slept for 2 hours. Now we're firing this up. So I feel like I'm hungover. I don't think I drank last night at work, but
It's
no, I
always
know.
a possibility.
Oh, I wish it was, but
If only you could. If only
I
we could go
won't
back to
have
this.
to worry about it soon, though.
That is very
June
true.
28th, I will be retiring from the agency I work for, and I will be done.
Was there any determining factors in that?
Not really, other than I'm old.
Then you're old and you're like, I'm ready to just.
Yeah, I mean, 25 years, it's over half of my life that I've dedicated to the agency I work with. And half of your life, that's a long time.
Yes, it is.
So I'm not just half of my life, but I'm probably about halfway through my life. I'm turning 47 soon. So that puts me at, 94 if I get another half of my life out of it. And I highly doubt that will happen because I know how I am. I like to be first at anything, and that includes dying. So,
Hey, that's what women do. You're always waiting on a woman.
yeah.
Let's not go
We
into
won't
that
talk
one.
into that topic right now. Yeah.
But
I would
you were
bet
just-
I would bet you die earlier than your girlfriend.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely.
Barring something really strange happening, like going back in time. But
You never know. It's 2025.
gosh, yeah, go back 22 years in life and you'd be all right. But yeah, so I mean, I made the decision. I looked at my retirement numbers, and for me to stay the other 3 years to get me to age 50,
Yeah.
which is what always had kind of been my goal.
Yeah.
It was only $3,000 a year more if I stayed 3 more years. That's not worth it. $3,000 more a year, and I mean, it would be in perpetuity until I died.
But the stress.
But the stress,
dealing with everything.
we get an additional retirement pay, and think about how much retirement pay that I'm getting away, so I can work as much as I want to
Yeah.
and still keep my retirement.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
an
I
awesome
mean, so
benefit.
I can potentially go get another job that makes $100,000, $200,000 a year.
Yep.
With my background, there's a very good chance of me getting something like that,
Oh yeah.
and then be pulling in like stupid money for the next 10 years. And if you go to the right place, I could actually pull a second pension.
And there you go.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I am happy. I'm sad.
It's all those
It's
emotions.
all mixed emotions because, like I said, it's been half of my life. So,
It's that senior year effect. You're getting that nostalgia.
oh yeah, everybody's
in.
like, "Hey, you remember this time when we?" And I was like, "Oh man, like that was the fun stuff." Like I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss the people I work with very much. So,
But here's the question: when was the last time you got to really do that fun stuff?
oh, I'm
know what
just
I mean?
a paperwork. Oh, I almost said paperwork Nazi. Oh well, I'm going to. You might have to beat that one, but
that's not going to count.
But like, I'm a paperwork monkey at this point. I'm a desk jockey, so
yeah.
I get out and about a little bit, but not enough for me to be like, hey, cool.
Yeah, like
at this point in my life, I'm more worried about a civil lawsuit than I am about anything else because I don't want to deal with a $1 million lawsuit when.
Especially this late in your career, it's kind of
Well, and it could be something as simple as I'm responding to an area,
Yeah.
and I don't see a car pulling out, and I hit it.
Yep.
Boom, there's a lawsuit, and I'm done. So I'm kind of walking on eggshells, and right now eggshells are expensive.
oh hell yeah, they are.
I mean, it's only like $15 a dozen. So
No, I mean it's gotten better.
I
Bagel
did
got
go to
buttery.
Waffle House today, though.
Oh, there
and they
you go.
have a 50-cent surcharge on eggs.
What? Really?
Yep. On anything that has eggs, there's a 50-cent surcharge per egg.
Is that on the menu? Does it say
They
that?
have a sticker that they put on the menu due to the high prices of eggs.
That's kind of funny if you think
Because they
about
don't want to change your whole menu. Like, why would you change
yeah.
your whole menu for something? We know eggs are going to come back down once the chickens start laying eggs again.
Yeah.
Problem is, 20 million or whatever, 200 million or 20 million, whatever the number was, were killed by the outgoing administration because of avian flu. Regardless of whether the bird actually had avian flu, they killed like 20 million chickens.
Yeah, it's insane.
So,
But
I mean,
eggs-
I got friends who have chickens, so I might be buying farm fresh eggs now.
Honestly, those are better to be.
They are, and you don't
really
have to put them in the
honest.
fridge.
Yeah. Well, as long as you don't wash them.
Yeah, as long as you don't wash them.
As long as you don't wash them off. But talking on that whole
So I went from chickens to nest eggs.
Ooh, yeah.
Boom! Or from nest
Nest eggs to chickens.
Yeah.
No, but
Back to retirement, yeah.
On the whole retirement thing, I mean, it's awesome that you finally got to that point. And I know we've been talking about it a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've discussed it.
And I've been kind of advocating for him to do it. Just
Because
pull
he
the
wants me to
trigger.
take over editing of all this crap, and that's not going to happen.
No, I know that's not going to happen. I'd like the
But I
quality
can,
to stay high.
yeah. If I'm going to do it, it's going to be like, we can let that slide and banned on YouTube, banned on Apple Podcasts, But yeah, it's bittersweet.
I completely imagine. I'm honestly a little jealous. There's a lot of people retiring right
Well, yeah.
in the next couple years and stuff, but it's one of those things. You've missed out on so much of your life. You don't realize it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of that effect where, like, I know I had jumped around to different stations
Yeah.
and stuff, different
Same here.
locales,
Yeah,
and
same
just
here.
it changes your timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have more than an hour commute to work,
Oh, God, yeah.
you kind of fall into that thing, and people always say, "Oh, you get used to it." It's not that you get used to it; you just
tolerate it.
You just tolerate it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you get used to it because I'll tell you, going from an hour commute down to a 25-minute commute was like, oh.
Where was this my whole life?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and since I started working as a child, because I started working at age 12 on the farm, but there's no pay for that. But at 14, I got my official work permit.
You had a place to live.
Yes.
They fed you.
Yeah. But I mean, I had an official work permit. So I've been working since 14. As far as the IRS is concerned, I've been working since I've been age 14.
Yeah.
And every job I've had, other than the one at home doing hay and stuff like that and working for the family business, I've commuted an hour everywhere for my whole life. So basically from, say, 16, from when I had my jobs,
Yeah, doing
that were elsewhere, it was an hour commute to work every day. My whole life until, so say 16 until 46, 30 years of driving an hour a day to work.
So you start adding up numbers, and you're just like, how much of your life you've lost? Because I remember at one point we had about a 2-hour commute, and we figured it out, and we did it a couple times, just because we're sadistic like that. I'm
going to figure it out right now.
And that 2-hour commute turned into approximately a little over a month.
Yeah.
A month a year that we were just commuting 24 hours a day.
So let's see. 1 hour.
And you start to think about it, and it's like, how much of your life you have lost?
5.
5?
At 5 days a week.
Oh, yeah.
Times
Lots of years.
52 weeks. Mm-hmm. It's 260 hours a year. Times.
Well, did you do 2
30
hours?
years.
Did you do 2 hours a day? Because
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll just multiply by 2 again.
yeah, just multiply by 2 at the end.
Times 2. Okay. 15,600 hours. So divided by 24.
Yep. You don't even want to say.
650 days of my life
So a couple years.
divided by 365. It is 1.78 years.
Yep.
So almost 2 years, literally 2 years of my life.
I think
has
that
been
number's wrong,
spent
honestly.
commuting.
I think that number's wrong.
I know how to do maths.
I think you missed it. I think you missed a multiplication in there somewhere.
I did 1 hour, which should have been 2, but I multiplied by 2. Well, let's try it again, right? Okay, we're going to be doing math.
We're gonna do.
So
math.
we're going to talk through math. So it is 2 hours a day. So then we'll cut out the times 2.
Okay, 2 hours a day
Times
5,
5 days a week equals 10
which that's easy math. Hopefully.
times 52 weeks in a year.
Yep.
That's 520.
Ooh.
Times for me, it was 30 years.
Yep.
15,600 hours.
Okay.
Divided by 24 hours in a day.
Yep. That gets you into the days.
650.
Oh, wow.
Perfect math twice.
Huh. That's weird because, like I said, for us, doing the 2-hour commute each way, I mean, it kind of doubles it.
Yeah.
But
going from 1 hour to 2 hours does double it. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know maths too much, but you don't need an abacus for that one.
But it just kind of seemed like such a small number because for us, like I said, when we figured out that 2-hour commute each way, it was a little more than a month a year. I think it was like 35 days or something along those lines.
Yeah. Well, then you figure that you multiply that times 30 years. That's
a crap ton.
Yeah. It's not fun.
So that's why I was just like,
it seemed a little low, but yeah, I mean, it's honestly and now I'm down doing 25 minutes a day, and then soon I'm going to be doing nothing.
But that's the crazy thing. People don't realize how much it brings back to your life. Because I remember,
and then not missing birthdays, not missing dinners, not missing sports stuff. So my daughter's the only one that's going to be left in school, so I'll get to spend the last 3 years bugging the crap out of her.
That's the best part, though.
And protecting her from boyfriends.
Which, I mean, if we're going to go down that road already,
we might as well. I kind of steered us that way.
You kind of
we can still hit a little more retirement topic if you want. But
I think we can come back.
Yeah,
to that
we'll circle back.
We'll circle back. Bringing some old stuff back.
We're bringing circle back. We don't answer. All we know do is ask.
So, one of the first topics for today is. Since we both have kids and everything, what age is appropriate for your kid to get a boyfriend or girlfriend?
My son's 16, my daughter 19.
Okay, I mean, that's kind of an acceptable age, realistically.
19,
at that point,
probably not. She doesn't believe within 19. But.
Well, of course not. But it makes a difference, too, depending
boys
and girls. Yeah.
So, I'm going to say this. With a boy, I have to worry about one penis.
Yes.
With a girl, I have to worry about every
them.
penis except mine.
Yes. Which that's an ongoing saying. People
somebody touches my daughter, they're dead.
Yeah. And that's actually how it should be. If you really think about it, if you're a good father, that's kind of how that should go.
Yeah, if my son is still around and somebody hurts her, they're going to have to deal with him first. And then he'll rough them up, levels. and then I'll
it's like levels.
It's different levels of hell.
You got to go through the first boss first, and then you got to go to the big boss.
Yep. I'm Mike Tyson. He might be, Hippo or whatever.
Hippo.
Glass Joe from Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah.
I'll be Tyson.
You're a little, you need to go tanning booth.
Excellence knows no color.
That's a good one, actually. But so you're saying 6. So if your son, say, because I mean we went through it.
Yeah,
you have like a little middle school girlfriend. I mean, really,
that's not. Yeah, that's not really a girlfriend. But
so like my son at 12.
Oh, God, yeah.
At 12, it was the funniest thing because his mom had called me, and he was her baby for the longest time.
He was. Yeah, he was.
I mean, he still is. He gets spoiled. So spoiled by everybody. Literally
including
everybody.
You.
Sometimes.
I've seen you spend $300 of sushi between you and him.
That's a special treat.
Once a week?
No. That never happened once a week. That was like...
Yeah, he didn't go. He was like once every other month.
Yeah, so... But... He gets treated like the baby, all that stuff. And his mom had called me, and he's like, "I'm not happy that he has a girlfriend." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because he didn't used to talk about that kind of stuff with me as much.
Oh, I was gonna say something.
Is it editable or not?
You'll have to cut it out. But we're not gonna. No, I'll say
maybe not go down that road.
I'll say till we hit a sponsor. You know where.
I think I know exactly.
So we're just gonna leave it alone about you talking about commonalities.
But she freaked out about it, and I'm just like, he's a boy. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's honestly just not. And like, they're middle school.
Yep.
But I think she has that complex of being replaced.
Baby, oh yeah, my baby replaced me.
Yeah.
He loves something else other than me.
So there was that, and then I want to say about a month later, it was probably right around that time frame. Me and her were talking about some other stuff. Probably had to do with him getting his damn haircuts like every 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah. His like $50 damn haircuts. Jesus. And then she tells me that she overheard him and his brother talking, because he has a half brother on her side, and she overheard them talking, and that his older brother asked him, "Did you really break up with her because she didn't laugh at your joke?"
Hey. My wife knows, always laugh at my jokes. Or she's out the curb.
I've seen her not laugh at some of your jokes.
Yeah, I've seen her look at me. I get they're ready. This look ready.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
As you're laughing hysterically.
Because my jokes are funny all the time, especially to me. I have some pretty terrible jokes, actually.
But I mean, if you think about it, that's
my eyeball.
That's the innocence of stuff like that at that age, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you could honestly get away with that as an adult, like when you were dating, if you could get away with that, well, you didn't laugh at my joke last week, so
we're done.
We're done. Would you have done that?
Probably.
I totally would have.
I think about doing it now.
You're too invested.
Yeah, I am. She's put up with my BS for 19 years.
Yeah, can you imagine? So, guys, think about this. Having to put up with this
for 19 years.
For 19 years.
All
every day.
The time.
Every day.
So that, and I'll circle back to the retirement thing. As soon as I told the wife I was going to retire, she was like, "You're getting another job, right?" Like it didn't even half a second breath. And she's like, "Yeah, you're getting another job, right?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to take a few months off."
Yeah, take a little break. And
it's like, she's like, "You're going to annoy me for like in the first day, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yep."
Absolutely.
I'm gonna wake up and you're gonna hear from upstairs, I'm retired, and now you're working, You know that's gonna be what I'm gonna be dancing around the house like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Worst part about it,
you're not gonna be retired yet, so
that too.
I'll be calling you, be like, "Hey, want to go for a bike ride today?" "Oh, I got to work." "Oh, that sucks." Call you next morning. Like, "Hey, want to go for a bike ride today?" "Oh, sorry, that sucks."
You're going to just show up at my house.
I'm going to be like, "Hey, I'll show up at your house with golf clubs. Hey, want to go play golf today?" You're going to be like, "Oh, I got to work." "Okay, bye. I'm going to play golf anyway."
But great thing.
I'll be sitting outside your door with a coffee cup.
As I'm walking out to go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can absolutely imagine
I would totally do that too.
I could.
You know I would.
Except the bad part about it is I'd probably be like, "Okay."
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. So like my boss is really super cool, and we basically don't get credit for our sick leave when we go.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of burning it off. I'm like, "Hey, sir, I've got a lot of doctor's appointments coming up," and he's like, "Just whatever." He's like, "Whatever."
Well, I mean, you did kind of drop it on people. You were.
Oh yeah, I was going to stay. Everybody thought I was going to stay. So like one of my agents today was telling me that. He was like, we were just talking, we had something happen, and we were sitting there talking. I'm like, "Well, I don't have to deal with this much longer." I'm like, "Oh, what, are you going on vacation?" I'm like, "Yep, permanently. I'm retired." And he was like, "You're joking, right?" I'm like, "No." And everybody's laughing. All the other guys, all the suits are laughing. They're like, "No, he's going in June." And they were like, he's like, "Great, we get a really good person here to be this guy for us, and like to be our advocate, and a really nice guy, good guy, knows the job, does everything, goes out of his way for us," and then he leaves. Because I've only been at the new location for it'll be just under a year. Yeah. And I kind of feel bad about that, but not enough to stay.
I was going to say. So that's the thing. So
and I talked to you about how conflicted I was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is not just like all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, and I'm going to retire." Like this has been probably the last 3 months.
It was like pulling teeth.
It was probably the last 3 months. Probably started in November.
No,
December maybe for sure.
I know it started. It started sometime last year where we really started talking about it. But then, just there was that conflicted side of it. You could see it. You could hear it in your voice. You were just like, I want to, but
I want, I need this, and I don't need to have, and then I go and look at my numbers and the estimates and all the estimates on the 401k. And I was like,
I can do this.
So at 85, I'll still have like $2 million in my 401k. Yeah, I'm good. I'm out. I don't need to pass that on to anybody.
Yeah.
If I go, she's got part of my pension anyway. So,
well, and even then, like I know, and
you're trying to life insurance and everything else.
Yeah, you're trying to be a good dad and do all that stuff and be able to leave something for your kids, which is all fine and dandy.
You know what I've left them? My DNA. They've got it already.
There you go. You left the best part. Yeah. No, but you that's kind of something that a lot of people take into consideration. And I think I had told you the story, and I'm going to tell it on the podcast because I don't think I've ever mentioned it on here, about a guy that he was a supervisor when I first came in, and he was eligible at that time when I came in. And everyone would be asking him, when you're going to go? When are you going to go? And he's like, oh, well, I still got kids in high school. They're about to finish up. I'm going to wait till they finish, till all my kids are out of high school. Okay, that's understandable.
Well, and that's where I was at too. That's that's originally where my was like, hey, if I go here, then they're all out of high school and they're basically adults at that point.
So they fend for themselves. So that's an understandable point. But then he kept going, and everyone's like, when are you going to go? And he was a good guy, super solid guy. He was mad at me one time only, and it's because
I'm mad at you like 3 times a podcast.
Yeah.
He's a saint.
Yeah. No, he was a great guy. Yeah. He was mad at me one time because a higher up, some BS with a higher up, and
let me guess, opened mouth, you inserted a foot.
Kind of.
And then caused a problem, and that had reflections on everybody else, and because you didn't think about them, you thought about just you at that time, and or the guys around you, because I know you were a union steward for a while. So.
Yeah, so
unions. Hey, I'm not part of that union stuff, boss.
Yeah.
What movie?
No clue.
Super Troopers. Hey, I'm not a union guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Farva. Yeah.
That's a.
But continue on. I'm sorry, I scrolled you.
Okay, so but this guy, he kept kind of pushing it off, and everyone would kind of bug him about it. And I remember I even had the conversation of like, if you don't need to, like, he's like, yeah, but they're in college now, and it's like there's always something. That's the thing, is there's always going to be something.
Well, you'll never stop being your kids' parents.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My mom still calls me all the time. It's like, oh, do you need anything? Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yes,
I need to retire.
So actually, I just sent something to my son the other day. I almost said his name. I almost pulled an Eric.
I know. I'm bad at that. I know. I make you do extra work. I try not to.
It's all good. Not as much as some other people.
Retire. Well, Steve broke
He broke everything.
He broke the counter. He broke. You've still got carpal tunnel.
Is that why
you can't even masturbate properly right now?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good thing I don't.
Hey, look, it's Cruella DeVille's hand. Oh, nice. Somebody different. Not Rosie Palmito.
Ooh, that's a
and
good
her
one.
5 sisters.
That's a good one. No, so there's always that reason, right? There's always that reason to stay and keep doing stuff, and it's great. And I sent something to my son the other day about that said, when my kids are adults, I want them to still, come over for dinners and come over and grab, toilet paper out of the cabinets and stuff, and whatever they need. But there's that point of, I don't need to fend for you anymore. You're an adult. You can do things yourself.
Yeah.
I still want to provide something for you, but at what point do you get that cut off, right?
So, like, for me, it's every time I go home to see my parents in New York, they stock up on Yuengling beer. Like, they literally know I'm coming, and then, like, I'll walk in the garage, and they'll have cases stacked up. Like, they'll have, like, 6 or 7 cases, because I know when I get there.
And you're only there for 2 days?
Nah, usually about a week.
No,
but I'll kill in 2 weeks. I'll kill 5-6 cases myself in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because it's like I wake up in the morning, I have coffee. As soon as my coffee's done, I crack a beer. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm having a beer. And then I'll go drive around the property, check the fence lines. And
you're on vacation.
On beer.
You know what I mean?
So I'm like, riding in the
lawnmower?
riding. Oh, it's
a tractor.
the Ranger.
Yeah.
Ranger. So I drive their Polaris Ranger around with a beer in my hand, and then I have like a cooler next to me with 3 more. As soon as one's done, I just grab the new one.
Yeah. So
My parents are like, "Are you an alcoholic?" I'm like, "No, I just really like beer."
no, I just like the taste. But that's something that every parent kind of wants to do for their kid.
Yeah.
And you're still going to do that regardless.
Yeah.
It might not have been this insane number you probably wanted to hit. And sometimes those numbers are kind of unrealistic. Sometimes people are like, "Oh,
I think it would have been realistic where I wanted to be at, but to be slightly short of it right now doesn't matter.
Well, okay,
it doesn't make a long-term change in my number.
So the direction I was going with that was just that, like, you have these certain
there's
numbers
always your
in
next goal. Oh,
Yes.
I did this. Oh, let me hit this number now.
Yes.
Let me hit this.
There's always those numbers, and then
It's called a shifting goal.
yes, there's that. But there's a certain point you hit that you got that little teeter totter. You got to figure out, is it worth it?
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yes, essentially, because is it worth it to put that much more of your life out? Because, like, I had kids young, and so
You were what?
19.
19?
I was
19 when you had your first kid?
I was 19.
Freaking number, man. 19's young.
That's
19's really young.
It is.
So, I mean,
It really is.
it is when you think about it, like, because you're what, 35?
37.
37. Yeah, you're
10 years
9
younger.
years behind me. Well, 10 because I'll turn 47 in a month. So,
Oh, yeah.
but like for me too, it was like we're putting the doors back on the Jeep the other day. And so I'm carrying these doors. Like, they're not light. I mean, they're not super, super heavy because they're Jeep doors. But the glass inside the door is pretty heavy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then there's electronics, motors, all the other stuff. And every door in the U.S. for a car has to have a steel beam in it and all that. So I'm carrying the door, and I went to walk around the golf cart, and I was like, I don't want to hit it. So I like turned to move the door slightly, and my back went. And I was like, oh. So for the last week, my back, like I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, my back hurts so bad. Oh my God, my back hurts so bad. And no matter what I do to stretch it out, I think it's probably more sciatica. It's like down towards my buttocks.
And then goes through.
Yeah, and goes through
like
my leg. So
leg
I had like, I don't know if you saw me standing earlier and I was like kind of like at an angle.
Twisted.
Like just trying to make it comfortable.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not getting younger.
No, and that's the reason I'm saying all that is that, so like for me, I had kids young, so I had to really.
You had to be dad
quickly.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you had your kids a little later in life, not late.
Oh no,
Not
yeah,
late by
20,
any means. But later,
27.
I'm saying later than me.
Well, 10 year, almost 10 years difference. That's
That's significant.
because my daughter's the same age as your son.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, she's 1 year older, right?
1, 2.
1.5. It's like 1.5,
like,
2 years.
it's
Yeah,
like,
not
yes.
quite 2, but not more than one.
It's right about there.
Not quite 1, but that's in 2. But yeah,
So like I missed out, kind of semi-missed out on some of that.
your
beginning
fun stuff,
experience.
yeah. Which I think is why you act like a child.
It probably is, honestly. It probably is.
I didn't get to go to my prom because I was busy tracking my child. But those things they all have to play into the grand scheme, the big picture, etc.
Yeah.
Like my parents have some serious medical issues going on. I want to be able to spend more time with them without having to like, okay, well, I've got to burn all this leave and make sure I get approved for it. Now I got to get a flight. Now I'm going to jump on the motorcycle ride to New York.
Yeah, you can.
So
pretty much do what
I could do it. Like honestly, I could make the ride if I iron butt it. I can do it in 3 days. I'm not
even
going
then,
to. I'm going to do.
You could take a week to get up there.
Well, and I'm going to go and stop by all of our clubs on the way. Like I'll stop
Yeah,
in
you'll
Texas
have-
for the night, then I'll go to Georgia. Then that's half my ride.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 nights to stay. There's somebody who's going to put me up. Mississippi, actually, I can hit too. So I can do Mississippi, then work my way up through Georgia, and then go north. So like I've got a place to go every day.
Yeah,
To stop on the way there, basically.
and it's like a vacation on the way to another vacation, kind of.
Then go up there and enjoy myself with the family for a little bit. And my sister still lives up there near him, so I get to see my sister and my nephew, and
Yeah,
so it's a win.
that's awesome.
And I'm not going to get that time back. So
And so that's where I was going, kind of.
So
you don't get that time back.
Yeah.
You, like for me, I missed out on certain years. Like when my kids are both 18, I'm still going to do all
Kick
this
him out of the
but
nest.
It's like, you guys are adults. You guys can figure it out. I don't need
My
to.
son's 18 now. He's got his own job now, and he's getting ready to go to the University of Arizona. He's going to be commissioning as a Navy officer. So,
and that's awesome.
He's got a lot, but he's got my daughter's going to be the problem. She's where are we going to do?
There's no. Set
She's
plan
super
yet. There's no set plan
smart.
yet.
Just like no idea what she wants to do at all.
Yeah,
yet,
there's no set plan, and so that's why I'm like, you know, I have another 6 years. I'll be in my mid 40s, and then I could be basically an empty nester.
Mid 40s are terrible.
But
Yeah,
I
they
can
hurt.
But I can hit that point and be able to be like, you know what, I can still do some of the things I wanted to do when I was younger. I'm still able enough.
Because you'll be what age when you can retire?
48.
Okay, so just 1 year behind me, so it's a good time to be. You know.
So it's perfect, and that's 25 years, big chunk of your life, getting to do all this stuff and kind of make up for our crappy shifts, if you really think about it. Our crappy shifts, our crappy schedules.
Well, yeah, because like even if you work a day shift, by the time with your hour commute plus, like you're getting up so darn early.
Oh yeah,
and you get home and you have stuff to do. Like you're still editing the, halfway through the second episode with Steve because
because that's terrible. Yeah,
because that's terrible.
Oh jeez.
He's funny.
It was rough. No, it was a great. Those were great episodes. Honestly,
Yeah.
they really were. It's just
They are funny though.
We've
been going back and forth so much with him about like now you've got carpal tunnel syndrome and
just comments back and forth and just all these things. But I have not had so many problems with equipment with everything than I did with that episode.
Yeah,
honestly, that was just
video card filled up.
Video card. But that took me a while to realize. So I thought it was corrupted files, trying to go through that, trying to get everything set up. And then just the amount of editing for that. He doubled you
beep,
up.
beep, 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 beep. He sounded like the Japanese are bombing Pearl Harbor. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, it's got a there is certain parts that I know that are kind of like that. You're just like, boop. Counter just goes away. Oh, here it is again.
Yeah, and there's 30 more added on there.
See, and the funny thing was, like, when we had Ryan on, he was trying to hit the counter, but he hit it, like, there was certain parts where he added 10 to his number.
Yeah.
And it was just all one kind of thing, right? So, easy.
Yeah.
Steve's are just kind of sprinkled in here.
Yeah, and because we talk like, we don't necessarily talk that much cussing in there.
Yeah.
But because he does, like, you're just thinking, like, we're used to hearing cussing because of work.
Yes.
And so, like, for us, you just hear it and you kind of push it off. So you have to go back and re-review it again. Like, there's another one I missed, and go back and then you got to change the counter again if you missed it. And then you got to change, like, oh, gosh.
Then that did happen. There was one that I had to, like, adjust it. And I was like, holy crap, I didn't even realize this. So it's...
Hey, baby girl. But my dogs are happy that I'm retiring.
I'm sure they are, especially this one.
Oh, yeah.
You get to cut them more.
A little more cuddling. The Idiots want to thank Sketchy Alias, one of our founding sponsors, for everything he has done for us. Sketchy works in vector-based design and has been working in the design field for 15 years.
His designs have been used on coins, apparel, websites, and logos. Sketchy is also a veteran who serves this great nation. Thank you for your friendship, work ethic, and service. But, I mean, that's awesome. I'm glad you actually finally decided to do it, because I know.
No, and there's always something that can change it right at the end, but it's going to have to be something major,
significant,
major in life to make me want to go back.
Well, and that's the thing. It's less stress. I can already tell, like, after you made up your mind and said, I'm out, you can already tell, like, you're less stressed. Just in general, you're less stressed.
Yeah, even my boss said that. He's like, do we stress you out? Because you're like, you seem super happy right now. I'm like, yeah, because I'm leaving.
So there's just so many factors. And if you really think about it.
And I love my job. Honestly, I do. I honestly love my job. It has its moments that are terrible, but I do love it. So that's the part that stinks, is you're leaving something that you love.
Yeah.
But I don't love it enough to stay there.
Well, so that's where it kind of comes down to. Like, so the guy I was telling you about, and so just so I can kind of close off this story for the listeners.
Yeah, because we spent a lot of time on this one.
Yeah.
Where are we at right now? Like 45?
No, not
35?
quite there. Yet. We're about 35.
Okay, so that's about a half hour on the topic. That's
we kind of sprinkled in
the
children.
The children. It's all about the children. Biden, get out of here. Anyway, sorry.
So he kept making up these excuses with his kids and all this stuff, and he finally was like, okay, this is my date. I'm set. This next year coming up. And everyone was happy for him. And everyone was like, oh, that's great.
Congrats,
that stuff.
It's going to be awesome.
He planned it all out. He had plans, him and his wife. They, right after he announced it, they went and grabbed an RV, bought an RV. They were going to tour the country in it. Him and his wife go all these places that they wanted to go. And at that point, they don't have any timelines anymore because, I don't have to go back to work.
Yeah, so we're going to stop and we're going to sit in a Walmart parking lot for 2 days and just enjoy because it's a beautiful area.
Yeah, just whatever they wanted to do. And he gets I think it was between 1 month and 3 months before his retirement date. And his wife passes away.
Terrible.
But he extended his retirement probably like a good 7 years. That's all that time.
7 years of time that he could have had.
That he could have had doing stuff. And it's not even necessarily just you. It's, the kids and everything else. Because I also have a buddy that retired, and he was just like, I just went. He somehow still had a pretty young kid when he was eligible to retire, and he's like, it's the best decision I ever made because now I can take my kid to school. I can pick him up and do all these things.
Well, in law enforcement specifically, you hear a lot of stories of the guy. Work was his life. Yeah, he's a great worker, great hard charger. Blah blah. He retires, and within 6 months, he's dead.
We actually recently had that happen too, and it's someone
he never made it to his first day, his first official day of retirement.
Yeah. I think it was actually
the 31st was his actually because the way the pay period went, second was January 2nd would have been his last technical day, so he never really made his first day of actual retirement because he was burning his leave off.
Yeah, so it's
terrible.
It's such a terrible thing. And we both knew the guy, and that's what makes it
I worked with him 23 years ago. I worked with the guy, and it's like when the name was said to me, I was like, there's no way. Like he was in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he was in good shape. It just happens. Sometimes stuff like that just happens. And
it's law enforcement in general that's very high. So law enforcement has, I think in 2023, we had 184 law enforcement in the US.
And that's such terrible statistic.
So high. And Cabal, when you compare it to only 100, I say only, there was 122 killed in the line of duty.
Yeah.
40 more
are taking their own
lives a year and are being killed on the job.
And that's,
I mean, you don't want anybody either way. You don't want any of those numbers to hit, but that goes back to what, we're talking to with Steve about the Chad O Foundation, the PTSD organizations, with Tanya, with her Warrior Wisdom, and how do you cope and so all that stuff kind of ties in with what we've talked about forever is wellness.
Yes.
For us, once again, we use motorcycles as our wellness. And this for us is actually really good. Like we've talked now about some bad things that happen to people we know and some good things that are happening. So we're actually doing our own psychotherapy. Well, she wouldn't say that. Yeah. Tanya wouldn't say that, but for us, this is therapy. She would agree that this is a therapy for us, that this is something that we do to cope.
Well, because for men especially, it's you don't really talk about some of those topics. You don't really, and this kind of gives us that outlet to be able to talk about it without it being awkward.
Yes.
Right? Because if you're sitting at the bar with your buddy and you start talking about some of the stuff we talk about here, it's like
silence.
We're trying to have a good time, guys.
Yeah. And then I even just the other day, I met up with a guy who had retired like 3 or 4 years ago. Saw him at a place that we all kind of go through, and we were sitting there, and I was talking to him, and they're like, "Everything's good with you, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's actually really good." And he's like, "Yeah, you look like you're like relaxed." And I'm like, "I decided to make the decision to retire after 25 years. He goes, and he was, "Good for you," buys me a beer. He's like, "This is what you needed. This is what you needed. Retirement's awesome." He blah, 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 and his wife is a sweetheart as well.
Yeah.
And they were just like, it was time. They're like, 25 years is a long time for this.
It really is. And I feel bad there's a lot of people that have to work until their 60s.
Well,
and stuff like that.
Bear, the founder of the club that we're in, of the Legion of St. Michael, he just retired after 31 years from the Chicago Police Department.
That's insane.
That's a long time, especially in Chicago. And he's been on gang task force. He's done a whole bunch of anti-terrorism stuff. So he's been around for a long time and
doing a lot of stuff. A lot of kind of
very dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
And in a city that's one of the most dangerous in the country, for obvious, for sure.
Yeah.
And he just retired, and I haven't talked to him since he actually did his last day. I just haven't been able to get a hold of him. So
I'm sure he's inundated with calls. And
oh yeah, and he said it was bittersweet. Like when I told him I was going to be going too, he's like, he goes, "What do you got? Like 15 years in it?" I'm like, "No, I've got 25." He's like, "Oh, you're not that far behind me." I'm like, "No, I'm not." I said I came in stupid young, so
yeah. Well, and so that's the thing. Like if I went to mandatory, it would put me at 34, 35 ish.
I could go to 38 because of the extensions that they're offering now.
Oh, well, and then you add
38
if you add that,
years.
That's insane. That's an insane amount of time to do what we've been doing.
No.
If you're honest with yourself, that's an insane amount
Actually,
of time
no, it's more than that because it's 62 now. So that would be 40. It'd be 40 years of service.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't need to have a 4-star on my uniform.
No.
Or actually, it's more than that.
That'd be more than that. That'd be...
Because it's what, 5 years? Every 5 years?
That'd be 8.
Yeah. No, not necessary. So now I've got to burn my last uniform allowance. So I'm buying like nice hiking boots and
just all the
jackets that I can take all the patches and stuff off of that are really nice. So I'm buying all the stuff that I want for retirement now.
Yeah.
Not actual uniforms. I don't need uniforms anymore. 5,000 pairs of socks.
Yeah. Just the most random stuff on there.
Yep. But yeah, it's insane.
I honestly, I can only imagine. I bet you it's a weight lifted off your shoulders.
Oh, it is. Even the wife has seen. She's like, "There's something different now." Like she goes, "You see a light," and she's like, it's because I've lived with you for so long. She's like, it's hard to see that you're in like a bad place because it's taken so long to get there. And it's not that I was in a bad place, but
no, just you're not at that.
Not where not where I should be.
Yes.
And she's like, it's obvious now because you went from like, I got to go to work to I'm retiring.
It's just like there's not a care in the world.
Yeah, she said literally, she's like, it's been a night and day difference in your attitude, your demeanor. And she's like, so if it's going to be this good for you, well, get a job anyway. Which I understand because I know me and I'll annoy the
yeah.
Boop, boop. Hey, that's not bad for the year. I'm doing okay. You've already had more. You already had a couple.
I think I did. But I mean, I'm the exact same way too because I know I would absolutely be that guy that's just like, want to go do something?
Yeah.
You get 30 minutes for lunch. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know I'm going to be doing that. I'll ride out to where you're at and be like, hey, you got lunch, right? I can drive 2 hours now because it's on my terms.
See, and that's the crazy thing is, if you think about it,
I'll end up driving way more in my off time than I do ever.
You're gonna have to get yourself a commuter car for retirement.
Yeah, well, my problem is like I'll go and do a project at the house.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, oh, I need this, and this, and this, and I'll write down a list, and I still won't get it all, and I'll get back to the house, be like halfway through, be like, damn it, I forgot this. Okay, I'm gonna go. You go back, and then you still forget something else that you need. Like it just. For me to do a project, I need like 3 runs.
So you're going to need a commuter car now that you're retired is what it comes down to.
Well, my daughter already said, by the way, I'm taking your truck to school.
What?
What do you mean you're taking my truck to school?
Come on, you're going to let her.
Oh, of course I am. You know I'm going to. She's got me wrapped around her finger.
Yeah, I never would have guessed that. Never.
No. But daughters... It's a whole different thing, dude. If you don't have one, trust me.
Oh yeah.
You pretty much do. Don't call me daughter, not fit to. You've got. I mean, that's pretty darn close because she goes and meets out with us for lunch and stuff. And
I mean, if we're
that's the closest you're going to get to a daughter right now. Hopefully.
It's a weird thing for me. So I was super happy that I had 2 boys because I was always scared, like legitimately scared, because it wasn't just like, I jokingly always say this, that I didn't want to have to,
do the wedding, the quinceañera.
Well, not even just that, like with them starting to date, and if a boy breaks her heart, like,
you want to kill her.
Yeah.
There's a whole different level of hatred when you become a father.
Yeah. So it's like, it's
and I know it's terrible to say, but that's the whole reason in some cultures they do dowries. They do, because, you're going to show that you are
worth it.
You're going to work hard and you're going to pay me for my daughter.
Yeah. And it sounds so terrible. Like when people,
but it's a commitment thing.
Yeah. It's
like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
It prevents that kind of relationship.
Yeah. So people think of it very badly, but a lot of times those kind of marriages and all that stuff end up being like the longer lasting ones.
Well, yeah. Well, some of it too is cultural, where women aren't allowed to say anything either. That makes living with a woman way easier. And there's a misogyny tick.
We should new scoreboard.
Misogyny. but it is. I mean, women and men communicate differently.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what it is. It's trying to figure out how your communication between the two of you works.
Yeah.
I've done very well. I've been married for 19 years, and I just do whatever she tells me to do, and it works out perfectly.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
Well,
but
there's a part to happy wife, happy life, but it's also happy family.
Yes.
And mental health. There's more to than just happy wife. Like, we all want to do our best to provide for them, and that's where I think a lot of that happy wife comes from.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm not happy, I'm out.
Yeah, like there's a certain level. Like, you're going to be unhappy with certain things.
Well, yeah, and there's been times I've walked in and said, I'm not doing that, period. It's done. We're not doing it. Out. Yep. I'm not doing it. And you walk away from it.
Yeah.
And then, like, she knows if I do this.
Yeah. There's that.
She knows, like, oh, that's like her grandmother pointed out one time. She's like, that decision's not changing move. And it's when I do that and I just sit there.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen that one before.
Oh, you have? With club stuff, I've done it.
Oh, yeah. That too.
Oh, well, we're going to.
And that's why your nickname is Rock.
Because I don't move. When that decision's made, I am not going to move on it. But that's like, well, I mean, and that's the other part of my retirement too, is that I do a lot of stuff for the club.
Yeah, you do.
I am busy. Really I am really busy all the time. There's always questions, or like, hey, what's this procedure on this? Or, hey, what do we do in this case? Like, hey, can you approve, this garment so that we can make it? Because one of the things I've been doing is making sure that anything that we make for the club is being approved by someone on the national board. Now, luckily, I've got national board members all over the place. So, like, a lot of the chapters that are making stuff, it's great because they've got a national board member on there. But then even then, they usually like, hey, I'm going to do this. Are you good with it? Yeah, I'm good with it. Just limit it to, what you're doing. But there's a lot, like when you get an organization that gets as big as ours is getting, there's a lot involved.
Yeah, and it's kind of expanded pretty quickly recently.
And we're looking at Colorado. We've got some possibilities in Colorado and Ohio right now. So now with me being able to be retired, I can go and shoot out to those areas and go do that. And I'm going to. I
was going to say, I already picture it. You're going to be calling me up and be like, hey, you want to go to Colorado next week?
Yeah, want to ride to Colorado? It is the Mile High City. Like, you can't do that, but I can.
Oh, so I get to be your babysitter is what you're saying.
Not a good babysitter, though.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. We're going to both get in trouble.
Yeah. We're going streaking in the quad. Woo! Ah!
Oh, man.
Why is it blue? Huh. Did it stop recording?
Possibly. Oh, I hit the wrong button, but...
Yeah, it just changed to a blue color.
It is kind of warm today, so it might have been that.
Here, blow on it.
And that's gonna be the
clip. You know what's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Stupid AI.
No, so what you were saying about your daughter and stuff, and like having a kid, having a daughter, I legitimately was scared of like a lot of what comes along with that, and that big thing. That's what I always joked as like the dating part and like.
Well, you've got to see with me and her where I've been like,
oh yeah,
I've called you like I'm gonna kid.
Oh yeah,
like dude, you need to get over here because if he shows up, I'm gonna kill him.
Those are gonna get clipped out because they have to, but they're not gonna count to the counter.
Yeah, sorry, but that's exactly what I said to you.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, it's exactly what you said, and
we're gonna mud duck that kid.
So that's what I always. But I was always also scared of just that. The being wrapped around their finger thing.
Oh, and they're good at it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Girls know how to do it.
And
when they look at you and they go, Daddy.
You're like,
yeah, like, honestly, like, daughters especially, like, you always love your son.
Yeah.
And it's a sad day that when your father dies. So I've still got mine now, but I know it's not too many years down the road. Like, it's... I'm hoping 20 years down the road, but
it's the inevitable.
I'm realistic.
Yeah.
But your father's the only person that ever wished you to be better than them, and whoever pushed you to be better than them.
Yeah.
Like that's as a guy, that's like why I push my son as hard as I do. And he said it before. He's like, I know why you push me.
Yeah.
He's like, you want me to be better off than you are. And my family did not have a ton of money growing up. We were very poor. And I say poor, it's a relative term, but I mean, like their combined income when I was growing up was like $36,000 a year. Now, yes, that's when milk was 50 cents a gallon, but you know, back in I remember
back in my day,
you know, $10 would fill your car with gas back then. Oh yeah. Well, no, still it wasn't that much. It was still like $1.20, $1.30 for gas, but where's that been? But I mean, you know, stuff was cheaper.
Yeah.
But it was still like we were technically living it. If you really looked at the thing, we're below the poverty level. Now, what saved us that we always had access to good food because we had the slaughterhouse. Now, we paid for our food there, but we paid the wholesale price, not the
retail price.
The retail price. So we always had that. Like, if we needed food, we're gonna have food. Period. Like that's never food was never an issue. Shelter was never an issue. But it was like all the extra stuff. Like I still remember the times where we'd gone to a gas station and my parents were like, "Fill up the car with gas or get milk today." Yeah. And I remember those days. My kids haven't had to deal with that.
Yeah.
We've been lucky enough.
Which is a good thing. And you see.
But I also think they're entitled way more than we were.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted, like, my sister and I literally went out and bought our first Nintendo, saving up. I saved up all my lawn mowing money, every little money I had for birthdays, et cetera, et cetera. We saved it up, and it was $100. $100 was a lot of money back.
Yeah.
I say back in the day. I mean, I'm dating myself, but but honestly, I mean, that was a lot of money back then.
No, it really was.
So when you look at it, you're like, wow, you know, like my sister and I literally had rules like, okay, we're allowed to play X number of hours a day by the parents, and we split it equally, period. And then, you know, if she's like, I don't want to play today, you're allowed to suck into their hours. Yeah. But like there was rules, like because we both bought it, and then if we wanted a game's $25,
which
something like that.
Which it doesn't sound like much today, but that's kind of the equivalent.
It was 1/4 of the cost of the machine.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of
cost of the dollar was different then.
Did it. I think someone did the math, and it was like
it'd be like a $300 game today.
The equivalent is like more than what we actually pay for games now, which people complain because
$50,
it's like $70.
Yeah, but $50 or $70 for a game now, like you're getting a heck of a lot better game too. Yeah. Like
a lot more quality time.
8-bit Mario Brothers, you can kill it. Like if you do the speed runs, people finish Mario in like 5.5 minutes.
Yeah,
or some stupid crazy number. Like it's insane. Like I forget there somebody had the world record attempt that had gone on there, and the guy beat it, and it was like 520 something or something like that. It was really it was a really short amount of time.
That's so insane. But it's also knowing the game, and
but like you're not going to do that with a Gran Turismo or a Forza or a Grand Theft Auto because those games you don't finish.
Yeah, it's not really like
my son plays Forza Horizon still, like Forza Horizon 5, I think, which is the one that's placed in Mexico.
Oh yeah,
because 6 isn't out yet. Every week there's a new challenge, and they get a new car that you can get, and like their constant evolvement of the games, and then
and even the games that have like I love these types of games where it's
open world,
a story.
Oh, the storyline,
where it's like it has a whole storyline. Like it's still open world, but it has a whole storyline. You can finish the storyline. But
And
then
when you
there's all
finish
the
it,
DLCs.
yeah.
And then there's, here's another
Online
DLC
play.
to continue
Yep.
the story after. And
Yep.
like, it's just constantly.
Well, and then there's different endings. So, like, was it, Ghost Recon Wildlands, I think, was one of the ones that we played.
Ghost Recon, there, I think one of the Call of Duties did it too.
Yeah. So you could have a different ending based on what happened with the boss. Like, so you had like 3 different endings that you could do.
Yeah.
And one of them, I remember it wasn't a Call of Duty. It's one of those ones where you climb a lot. But you could literally win the game. Mm-hmm. If you walked in with the sheriff and you just turned around and you waited. If you waited long enough, you could just turn around, walk out, and the game was over.
Really?
34 seconds, you could win the game.
That's crazy. But that's just one of the outcomes. That's one of the.
So there was 3 different outcomes, but the other 2 outcomes always ended in death somehow.
Yeah.
But it was still like there was other outcomes.
Yeah. It's
And then
like
when
your
you
own adventure.
when you beat it the first time and you guy, that's over. But the game's not over because now all the DLC comes in and like you can still fight them and you get like it's weird.
Yeah.
Like some of them are really weird like that, and there's so much on that little disc.
So, did you ever play Detroit Become Human?
No.
I got super excited about it because it was basically pick your own adventure book. That's kind of what it was.
Which people don't know because they don't know how to read today, but that's okay.
That's a different topic for a
Not
different
his
day.
fault. He can't read. What movie?
And, oh, jeez. You keep getting me with these movie lines. I know it. I can see.
Big Daddy.
No. Oh, yeah. Jesus.
His teeth were made of wool. No, they're made of wood. And then the kid like hits him in the head. Leave him alone. It's not his fault. He can't read.
Hippopotamus.
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 A penis. Do you have a penis? Yes, you smile a lot. A penis.
Oh God,
You're not gonna have to edit that.
No. Luckily, the other ones, the other little things I have to blur out, but doesn't count to your counter. So
Nope.
You kind of lucked out this episode
So far.
There's still time.
Yeah.
But
Well, and on that note, I'm gonna grab another can.
yeah, it sounds like a good plan. So
Soda.
We'll call this a sponsor spot then. We want to thank one of our founding sponsors who helped make all of this possible. The Legion of St. Michael Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club International is a 501c3 charitable organization that focuses on first responders and military families in need.
The Legion of St. Michael was founded in 2014 in Chicago, Illinois, in memory of fallen officers. If you are interested in helping to support the Legion of St. Michael in their endeavors to assist first responders and military families, please reach out to a local chapter or contact the Idiots for a link for donations.
All right, guys. We're back again.
I don't know
We
why I
just
did
we
that.
just had to take a little break, We're getting old.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take those little breaks.
Yep. Need to rehydrate. I didn't have enough water today.
Of course. I mean, you got to be healthy. Mm-hmm. But we were talking about a lot of random stuff. We went all over the place. Many a time.
Squirrel.
I mean, a lot of it was kind of on topic, but off topic.
Yeah.
Kind of things.
So on the Patreon viewers are going to be able to see that because we'll have a lot of that we put on the Patreon portion of it. So
yeah. So luckily, Patreon gets to see a lot of us being idiots.
Yes.
Honestly,
a little bit more than normal.
Yeah, more than normal. They get to see unedited, not fully unedited. There's certain things.
Yeah, we still don't talk about our children's names and spouses' names and all that kind of stuff. That's for their privacy.
Yeah, that's always going to be edited. But
or as we say it in the British, their privacy.
And they get to see stuff that would get us banned on certain places.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you jump on the table and start dancing naked, it is kind of weird.
Hey, people pay good money for that kind of stuff.
Not for you. Or me.
Yeah,
That's why I have Foot Finder.
Did you say Foot Finder?
Yeah.
The hell is that?
Well, I made like $93,000 last year on Foot Finder, taking foot pictures. I'm joking.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I would never want to see your feet.
They're disgusting. No, they're actually not bad. I have pretty feet.
I'm sure I could smell your feet through a picture.
You might. No, that's like a big thing though. That's actually like something.
I absolutely imagine.
Anyway,
oof.
Yeah, we're good.
But yeah, if you guys want to subscribe to our Patreon, you get to see all the stuff that would get us banned. Well,
most of the stuff that
there's certain little things that we still gotta edit out because we're guys and we say stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But
misogyny counter. Boop.
Yeah, we need one of those.
Yeah, no.
But we're basically starting fresh now, so there's another topic I wanted to bring up.
Well, now that I'm awake, this is a more serious topic, so I can.
And actually, we could really talk about this for a good long minute.
Yeah, so like I'm actually awake now, guys.
We can actually dig in deep into something.
Ooh, dig in deep.
It's not really a deep topic, but we could. But so earlier you were playing music and you're like, oh, maybe it's going to be a song that I had to skip.
Oh, God.
So the thing is, music playlists, you have your music playlists.
Yeah.
I don't have many. I kind of just consolidate all my stuff into this type
I
of
know.
music or that.
We'll play golf and it's like, America the beautiful, blah, 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 some weird country song, and then you got the next song's like,
and then some random rap song,
yeah,
and
like
then some random rock song, and
yeah.
Yeah.
I've said a couple times, like, really, dude?
He literally has.
Like, change the friggin' channel.
He was. Yeah. There was a time I remember he's getting ready to hit. The song changes, and he does that, and he goes, "Really, dude? My bad."
Yeah, so you didn't like, and it ended up being like the next 3 songs you had to skip because they were all this. It literally sounded like the same song. It started out with. That's actually not a bad one. That was pretty good.
Pretty good. Actually.
That was not bad.
We might have to clip that. We might have to like add a little marker to this thing and
put a sombrero on me. Put a little
Actually, use this board to its full potential and have it as a.
Yeah, to get started. Hey,
but no. So it's I have my everything playlist. I have different playlists, and I'm sure you have different ones too. But the topic is music playlists and songs in your playlist that you always skip. The funny thing is, everybody has it.
So, like, I do have, like, obviously, I have the iTunes stuff still on my phone that I've passed from like device to device from year to year.
Yeah.
And even on that one, there's ones when it plays, I'm like, why is that in there still? And because I forget to go back out and take it out, be like, because it's like one that just gets randoed in there. Like I was driving the bike the other day with one, and Roar came on from Katy Perry, and I'm like, oh, skip! No! Like at the light, there's like 4 bikers around me, and it's like, I used to blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh.
Party of the USA comes on, Miley Cyrus.
Oh, I'll let that one play. I'll let that one play.
I know you will.
I like that one.
That is actually a good song.
Yeah. But dude, honestly, I love her music. Like I love her newer stuff, like her raspy voice. I love it. Yeah, she reminds me of Stevie Nicks.
Yeah,
Stevie Nicks has that little raspiness to her voice, a little harshness, and I mean,
but she does have a great voice.
Oh, Miley Cyrus is, and that's gonna sound so weird. She is super talented. Like when she redid some of those songs, like even Wrecking Ball. Like I know I make fun of that song all the time. It's a good song.
It really is.
I came like a wrecking ball. That's what Thumper's bike says to him every time it falls on his leg.
Only sometimes.
Which is often.
Only sometimes.
Are you texting during the podcast?
I am. I need to.
Okay.
Sorry. It was a necessary
evil.
Necessary evil. Yeah, we'll put it that way. But no, the thing about those songs is they're in there for a specific reason.
Yeah.
Because even though you're saying it's a rando song, there's that day that it comes on, you're listening just to at home, whatever, and you're just like, oh yeah, this song's perfect. Oh, like this song is
when Roar came on the way back from Chicago, I was like, I'm gonna let it play right now. Like it's a change from what I've done for the last 4 hours of AC/DC and so all of a sudden it's like I think it went from like Metallica 1 and then it was like Roar.
But those songs, the songs that are in your playlist, like they
mean something.
They mean something. And then There is that song that you always hit, and I guarantee you, if you don't have a song, all right, let's put this out to the viewers. If you don't have a song in your playlist that you normally skip, but it hit every once in a while, and you're just
it's the time.
I'm listening to that song. Everybody has it.
Yes.
Well,
it might be even like a party song that you've had that like, okay, when I'm getting ready to go out and we're going to go out, this is the one we're throwing on, you know.
And sometimes it just randomly pops in and you're in a different, I hate this.
Mindset.
Okay. Yeah. I like that because I was about to say vibe and I hate
mindset.
That. I hate it.
Mindset. See, I'm here for you. I may be retiring, but I'm here for you.
You come through sometimes.
Have like all of a sudden I woke up. Like, was that not crazy? Like all of a sudden I've like woken up. Like
now you've gotten
little peppier than I was earlier.
It's almost like you have some energy drink in that drink.
It is energy drink, so definitely gives me energy for something.
But there's reason people have these songs in there, regardless of what it is. And sometimes it's, you're not in that mindset.
Or you've got a mood. You're in a mood and you're like, not today.
No,
not today.
And sometimes it's a song you like too. Yeah. Sometimes it's a song
like
you
I love
play.
Eminem Berserk. Mm-hmm. And there's times I'm like, nope, I don't need that vibe right now. Mindset. I don't need that. We need a vibe counter.
Yeah, we need a vibe counter.
Gosh, I'm making you more work. I love it.
Yeah,
but
great.
no, I mean,
he's the one retired. I got to do more work.
Yeah, absolutely. I know how to work this. I didn't get this far by being stupid. But I mean,
come on.
I'm an idiot, but. Like it's a mindset. Like the sometimes when Berserk comes on, I'm like, oh, I can't do that right now. It's not a good, especially like that one. If I'm angry, I can't because I want to drive fast to that song. And if if I'm already angry and I want to drive fast and then that comes on, it's like
you're already driving fast.
I'm splitting traffic now. I'm splitting traffic, and I'm gonna as I go by the tractor trailer, I'm gonna put my hand out, and go down the side of it, and I'm gonna get sucked under a tire and die.
Well, like that almost happened to me.
Yeah. Well, my road glide's pretty steady on the road.
Yeah.
And we all had it was 2 road glides, your Challenger and the Road King.
Yep.
And every single bike on that truck was like, woo! I don't know what it was about that.
Skirts.
Oh yeah, the side skirts.
The side skirts.
Well, and we had oh, that's good. We had a hell of a crosswind.
Yes.
No, because that storm was like either right behind us or right behind us. Was it behind us?
It was behind us. We had just passed through because we're coming through New Mexico.
Yeah, and how we ever didn't hit any rain on that trip back. Like everybody else that went home was like, I was in rain for 2 days, or like it rained all day. We're like, we got water off the road.
Actually, no, we did catch a little bit at the end. After the last
stop. But I mean, it was like sprinkles.
Sprinkles. It was like, oh, this is perfect.
I felt good actually because it was hot that day. It was hot coming back. But yeah, I mean but like those vibe songs, they're there. Like
another vibe. You can't help it. It's just become so mainstream to say.
It has. I hate it.
I hate it too because it's not a thing.
No,
it's like you said, it is mindset or it's your mood.
Yeah, mood.
It's not.
I'll say it again now because now that I haven't said that word in like a year and a half, but now that we've said that we don't want to say it, it's in the front of my frontal lobe. It's trying to come out.
But that's what they are. They're those mood songs.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, they really are. Yeah. And you just like, wow, what am I going to do? Like, there's those songs that come up like, the wife loves Red Hot Chili Peppers. So she plays the stupid Red Hot Chili Peppers Satellite Station all the time. And I'm like, I'm sitting in the car going, if I take a knife out and put it through my mouth, I can probably hit my brain stem. Like, it's that kind of like, I can't listen to this anymore. Stop. Yeah. And she'll see it. She'll like, all of a sudden, she'll be like, lithium. And it's the same 500, same 100 songs or 500 songs that are played on a loop anyway, but it's a different artist all the time. Like, I don't like the same artist playing all the time. Yeah. That's why I made mixtapes back in the day and mixed CDs. And
remember that?
When you could rip a CD, like you'd make sure your stereo had the MP3 player so that you could put like 500 MP3s on one disc.
On one disc.
And then they killed that.
Or you hit the record button. You hit that
on the radio
button on the cassette because you were like, or you called into the radio station and you're like,
can you play We Built This City by Jefferson Starship? Yeah, we'll play that song for you. And you record it, and then they play something else. You're like, you bastard. That you don't have to beat.
no, that one, no.
But I mean, it's yeah. But no, there's those songs that like on a road trip you don't want to listen to it. Like on a quick commute, cool, nobody cares.
Yep.
But there's like times where like when you're super tired. Like there's some songs when I'm super tired that like if it plays, it's like Lightning McQueen and do do do.
Oh, yeah,
and you're like,
when you sleep, you're just like, oh no. Next.
well, it's like on the way back from Chicago, I fell asleep for like a mile and a half, 2 miles, and you guys are like, oh, he's just like
He's
moving
jamming
around
out
to his tires, you know, and his hand keeps going down, and then he picks it up. He must be stretching. No, I was completely rocked out on the bike. Cruise set, 90 miles an hour, sleeping on the motorcycle. Well, because remember, as soon as we hit that stop sign, I'm like, next gas station, I got to stop.
Yeah.
I've got to get a coffee. And you guys are like, what? I'm like, I was totally asleep. Like I hit that bump and it woke me up, and I almost fell off the bike because I was so scared.
That explains the whole little jitter.
Yeah.
No, everyone has that, and it's insane to think that that's a normal thing for everybody, right? It's like 99% of the time I skip this song.
Yep. And then all of a sudden there's that one time, and you're like, mindset.
Yep.
Right mindset. Right timing.
Right timing. It's like, yep, I'm listening to this song. You know,
like
I'm
break
gonna
stuff.
Repeat
Break stuff. What is that by
break stuff?
Smash Mouth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is it Smash Mouth? I think it's. But anyway, that song I can't I can't just listen on a normal ride. I can't listen to that stuff. To break stuff for some reason, it's not like one that
Limp
kind of
Bizkit. I was about to say Limp Bizkit.
So like for some reason that one, for most of the time, isn't like a great one for me to.
No, it was.
It was to listen to, but then like every once in a while, I'm like, give me something to break, and I'm like, yes, burnout time.
And then you go.
And then I go through a tire.
Far.
Yeah, then I go through a tire.
Yeah, more than one sometimes.
Yeah, that one I've got now is pretty fried.
But
I'm a delinquent. We know this.
If you think about it, though, it is kind of that. There's those songs in there too that you usually skip, and then there's that time it comes on, and you might be cool as a cucumber. Cool as a cucumber. Cool as a cucumber. That song comes on, and you're just like, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yep. Now's the time.
But everybody, I think it's just crazy that everybody has that.
Oh, everybody's got a skip song on the playlist.
There's no way.
There's got to be the right mood.
There's no way that you're a music person.
Yeah.
And you don't have that.
Yep.
Because there is those songs. There's absolutely those songs.
Yep.
Like on a normal basis.
They hit a certain chord within your soul.
Oh, that was a good one. But like you were saying, that Miley Cyrus Party in the USA. Yeah. There's many times, I'm sure it's in my playlist, I'll skip it.
Yep.
I'll just be like, nope. And then it hits that one time, and you're just like,
yeah,
this is the jam
right now, this is what I need.
This is the jam. Or I'm trying to think of another. Do you know that song Flowers?
Oh, Let's Go Fishing's a good one.
Let's Go Fishing, that's good. From time to time, it's that song that you like, oh, well, I'm in that mood.
Yeah, you know.
I'm kind of feeling that.
Well, and it's like, for me, the national anthem's always a great start.
You can't go wrong with that.
No, and
you really can't.
You can in Canada when you boo it, and then the American hockey team kicks the crap out of the Canadian team. 3 fights in the first 9 seconds, and then we beat them 3-1 on their own game.
Isn't that insane, though? Isn't that insane that
now
happened?
the USA hockey coach was like, "We'd love Trump here for the final here in Canada." So I guarantee he's gonna go. He's gonna go because they're like, yeah, all these players are proud Americans. They took offense at Canada.
Oh no, they did.
Okay, you're gonna play that game, boys.
You see the way they were checking people and just everything. There was people off there.
That's where "Give me something to break" is like, "Give me something to break."
Like they made clips of it and everything.
Oh,
like,
it's great.
They're taking Canadian hockey players off their feet. You're just like,
and most of these guys, like, they play on the same team with them here in the States, and they're like,
nope.
They get the target set on them. Oh yeah, we got radar lock. You're a dead man.
It's great.
And all the Canadians before the game, this is our game. USA sucks. Blah 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 blah. Didn't age well, did it? That was funny. That was like I was like, oh.
You had that.
I was so happy. Oh, it was great.
Well, okay. I mean, if we're going down this road, it's not illegal to do. But if you were to ever see someone burning a flag,
I would go grab
flag,
it.
U.S. flag.
I'd grab it. I'll get in a fight to grab it and put it out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now what I'll do is I'll then take it to be properly disposed of. But
yeah, but it's just that
nothing really makes me more furious than when I see that. Like that really irks me. You're protesting, and I'll go into what they're protesting now: the ice raids, blah 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 blah, whatever.
Yeah.
So you're flying a flag of the country that you left, saying how you love this country so much, but you're protesting against getting sent back to the country you love while you're waving its flag.
Yes.
And burning ours.
Yep.
No. GTFO.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you love this country and you want to fight for this country, be in this country, then you wave our flag.
See, and that
I have nothing against you having the flag on the back of your vehicle, but if you burn my flag,
oh no, absolutely not.
When you're protesting my country, like you left Mexico because it sucked.
You left Guatemala, all these other countries,
Panama, Colombia, Venezuela.
Like, don't do that. Just don't do that. You're not making a strong case.
And anybody who plays, oh well, that's just American bias. Go burn a Russian flag in Russia, and what's going to happen to you?
See how that works out for you.
Go burn a Mexican flag in Mexico. Go burn a Canadian flag in Canada. Well, they'd be like, "Hey, buddy, that's not good. Okay, you hoser.
Make sure you don't burn on the rest of the country."
Oh yeah, don't start a fire with that thing. That's dangerous, eh? But you go to any other country, if you treated their flag or you protested their country about their treatment of you, their response is, get out.
Yep. Go F yourself.
Yeah. Qatar. Oh.
Nope.
You don't even throw a piece of paper on the ground in Qatar.
Yeah. There's certain places you just don't.
And I agree with it.
No, me too, but
yeah.
It's so.
And I get we have that freedom to do it, but just because you have the freedom to do something doesn't mean you should do that.
I think we've talked about this before. Yeah. Just because you can do something
doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should. And that's
and I am not in disagreement of.
And let's be honest, I think that comment was made towards me.
Which one?
Just because you can't do something doesn't mean you should.
Oh yeah, well that's true. Yeah, that was created for you. I'm not against and I'll say this, and it might make some people mad. I'm not against you burning the flag in protest of the Vietnam War.
No, that was.
But I also agree, or don't think that you should have treated our veterans like when they got back. Boop. I don't care. That one's worth it for me.
I agree.
They didn't deserve that. They did what their country asked of them.
Yes.
They went into a place and saw terrible, horrible things. So if you want to protest the war declaration, that is one of the few times I can say I don't like the fact that you're burning the flag, but I get it.
Yeah, it's understandable.
It's understandable because you don't like the policies that are happening from within your country. You're not saying the USA's. You're
not saying F you.
Flag. Yeah, we're better for Well,
so,
then.
Okay, so bringing it back to kind of what happened recently.
Yeah.
If they would have been flying, I was putting both together. If they would have been flying American flags in that protest, people would have probably gotten behind it and been like, "Oh no, okay, we understand. You want to be here."
Yes. But you're flying the flag of the country you came from that you don't want to go back to while complaining about the country that you're in.
It just doesn't.
Sorry, it doesn't play well to me. Or a climate protester blocking traffic so that the cars that are sitting there and can't get to where they're going, so that they shut off, have to burn more hydrocarbons. So now you're actually polluting more by blocking the cars and letting them get to their location and shut off. But they're still going to go to their location.
Okay.
The hypocrisy is unbelievable.
If we're going down that road, the thing that bothers me most about that
road.
The thing that bothers me the most about that, I'm cool with the protests. You do your things, like, but there's certain things that are illegal, and just because you're protesting doesn't make it legal all of a sudden.
Yes, you should not be blocking traffic because I'm not going to say that because that's going to get me banned.
But like, they should enforce that. They should. The cops should be showing up and being like,
arrest everybody blocking traffic right there on the spot. Yeah. Every single one.
We need to take you out because
there's 400 people. Cool. Block them in from the other direction. And you take every single one of them down. You book them. You can book release.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is going to have their day in court, and they're going to face fines. They're going to face.
And even if it is just a fine,
Somebody's backing up, apparently.
You weren't moving back, so
my son must be backing up.
He is a big kid. He is such a big kid. It's insane.
No, but like that just
that irks me. That part irks me because go ahead, protest. I'm all for it. That's part of your right. Part of your rights. But when you're breaking laws,
but when your protest violates my rights,
yes,
I have a right to free movement inside my country.
Yep,
you're blocking my right to free movement.
So, and that goes to many other things too. Is what we were saying earlier about just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Just because I can tell you something super offensive, like there's certain things I just didn't want to say. I could have said a couple things, but just because I can doesn't mean I should.
No, absolutely.
Because
there's and if you do, there's consequences to your actions.
Exactly, that's where I was going.
You might get punched in the mouth, or stomach,
or ribs.
Yeah.
Not saying that's ever happened or anything
to you. Yeah,
but I think we've kind of lost that a little bit. We've lost
a lot of the act the fool, get played like one.
Mm-hmm.
Because of you can't do that. You can't hit somebody in the face if they say something offensive to you.
Okay, so
you said stuff like that when we were growing up. You got your mouth smacked.
But that kept people
in line.
Well,
it's the whole.
I don't want to say in line.
It's the whole idea of the armed society as a polite society.
Yep.
In the Wild West, if you didn't want to get, taken out by a firearm, you didn't say certain things. You didn't act a certain way.
Yep.
That didn't guarantee it wasn't going to happen, but you didn't call somebody a cheat at a poker table unless you knew they were a cheat and people were going to back you up on it.
Yeah.
Because that was it
reduced your chances of it basically increased your chances of surviving.
Yes, it's hard to say that without getting a flag on that. But yeah, that's it's crazy in all these areas that have right to carry and people conceal carry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot less crime. I wonder why that is.
Maybe because there's consequences for your actions.
Yeah. Bad guy tries to take my stuff. Yeah, you're going to look like a cheese grater.
Well, I mean, we're already deep into this one.
Yeah.
But then there's those people that say, oh, so you value your stuff more than someone's life?
Yep.
No, it's not even that. That's the thing. It's not even that.
No, I value my safety.
Yes, there you go.
I value my safety
because that's the thing. Life. Like, yeah, we're gonna joke about that. Like, if we weren't on the podcast, we would joke about that. Be like, yep, right. But truth of the matter is, it's not that you value your stuff more than someone's life. And I love this saying. Yeah. I just have to throw this one out there. It's they valued my stuff more than their life.
Yes, exactly.
That's hilarious.
But it's true.
No, it is kind of true. But the truth of it is, I valued my safety because
my safety and security.
They were willing to come into my house to steal something, or they were willing to break in, whatever.
Yeah, try to carjack me at the light.
What else? What else are they willing to do?
Yep.
My safety's in jeopardy.
Yep.
I'm going to protect myself. That's really what it comes down to.
Has nothing to do with the stuff. It has to do with your personal safety and security.
Because that's the thing. Stuff can be replaced. Yeah, granted. Sometimes it sucks. People get stuff stolen from them.
If I'm not at home and somebody breaks into my house and steals something, I'm not going to go hunt them down to handle it.
Yes, exactly.
The police can handle it. But if I'm in that house and my children are in that house.
Oh, yeah. You went into the wrong house.
You're going to have fluids coming out from a lot of different places.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah. And people don't seem to understand that. But it's the same thing with saying things like what I was saying earlier. I could say certain things and there's going to be consequences.
Yep.
Granted, we're friends. Probably actually wouldn't happen. But if I didn't know you, there's certain things I could say that,
there's certain things that I would.
Oh, yeah.
And you know those, well, you know those topics that are not allowed to be spoken about. So,
but I'm saying just as a generality.
Yeah, no, as a generality, it's not going to go to that.
No, but there's certain things, like if I didn't know you well enough and I said those things.
Oh, you're getting, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a learning lesson for you.
And I think that's where we messed up. There's not enough learning lessons for people.
No, there isn't, because then as soon as you put your hands on somebody, you're getting arrested for assault when they probably should have been assaulted.
Yeah.
Because of their actions, they deserve to get hit.
But okay, so
which is considered an assault in most states.
Yeah, but you go down a certain road and it's because they've fought for this.
Yeah.
Verbal assault. Mm-hmm. That's a thing.
Yep.
That's legitimately a thing. Like, I'm not even making that up.
No, if you make threats to me that you're going to harm me or my family, you're in trouble.
They've taken it to a further extent than that. But yeah, if someone did that, that's valid. Mm-hmm. They've taken it to a further extent to where it's just like, oh, you said I was overweight.
Yeah.
You
verbally assaulted me.
Yeah. It's like, no, that's not. There's a lot.
You didn't call me by my pronouns. You've attacked me physically.
No, I did not.
I don't have to play into your fantasy. Sorry.
Yeah. There's
I will do my best to not offend you.
Yeah.
But if I do and you get in my face, sorry, your offense might turn into physical offense. Because if you get in my face, I only take a certain amount of stuff before I react to it.
Well, and that's the thing. You got to defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, as Americans,
we've allowed the screaming a-holes to have so much power because people don't put them in their place.
But that's what I was saying is, as Americans, we have certain rights to defend ourselves.
Yes.
That's
their unalienable rights.
Kind of what the country was founded on a little bit, you know, like we went to war over tea. That's the joke.
Yeah, 3% tax on tea. Meanwhile, I'm paying 24% of my income.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Isn't that a crazy thing too? Where you're,
and it's not even 24% because now I go out and buy something. Well, there's a state tax, a local tax, a sales tax. 24% is just my federal income tax.
That's just your initial tax.
Yeah, that's just your welcome for playing.
Yeah, welcome to the game. Yep. This is your initial buy-in.
Well,
just wait for the others.
And then you look when you go through at the end of the year when you're doing your taxes. Because I just did mine not too long ago, and you see your gross income versus your net, and you're like, how did that much disappear?
Well, that's where I was. Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Isn't that crazy though? Like you get a bonus for work. We do that too sometimes.
50% of it goes to the federal government.
You're like, what the hell just happened? But normal people too. I remember hearing stories of people where they're like, I'll decline that raise because it bumps them to that next tax bracket, and all of a sudden they're making less than they would have made just staying where they're at. And you get a bonus. It's so messed up for people that don't do their taxes properly, apparently. You get that bonus, and all of a sudden it bumps you to the next tax bracket for that paycheck.
Yeah. And you don't get paid for it.
And you get paid so much less, and you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, because your taxes went through the roof.
Yeah.
Because it based your biweekly tax on that's your normal check all the time.
Yeah. And all of a sudden...
It doesn't code differently for a bonus.
That is the craziest thing if you think about it.
Now, you'll eventually get it back.
but you won't get the full amount back that you would have.
No.
That's the most terrible part about it.
Well, I mean, there's two things that are certain in life: death and taxes.
And us being idiots.
Well, that's pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah, that was.
That's a certainty. That's an absolute certainty.
And you know what? Bike Week's coming up.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing some lives at Bike Week again. So I'm wondering, do we do the whole table set? No, we're not doing that. No, we're not bringing the booms either. We're not doing that. We're gonna bring the crappy mics for that one. I'm not even bringing my nice mic to that.
Just we got enough so we can.
Yeah, so we've got a new location at Bike Week. So
yeah, so it's gonna be nice.
Location we've got,
and you know what? We can probably have some good people on.
Yeah,
and
we have a ton of visitors. We might actually get Bear on this year.
That would be awesome if we could do that.
And we've got Popo, our national recruiter, so we can probably get him on. We've got Tanya Glenn. We got Steve coming. We've got 5 or 6 different other clubs that are meeting us out there to party.
We could also probably do successfully this time. Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. But we could probably successfully this time get like people to.
Well, we did. Down. We honestly didn't do too bad. The ladies from Phoenix Motor Letters were awesome. Yeah. They were awesome.
So we could probably get people to successfully sit down. Just random people.
Some randos.
That's where it all started. I think that's. Yeah. If I'm honest, I think that's probably going to be our normal thing
over there. For there, Bike Week, it's going to be trying to talk to everybody. Have people come talk. Hey, come sit down, talk about your bike.
Yeah.
Like even like hey, jump on for 5 minutes, talk about your bike.
Yeah. We could even do a little poster board, even if we had to Sharpie it on there and just be like, hey,
come talk. If you see us, come talk about your bike.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so we can do some things. We'll make some things happen for sure. But it's coming up quick.
It is.
Like it's way quicker than I thought. It's like it's a month away.
Pretty much, yeah.
30 days away.
But your birthday's before that, so.
Yes, it is. I'll be 47 and old. And ready to retire.
Your favorite thing now.
Yeah, absolutely. Should it not be?
Absolutely, it should be. I'd be super happy. But I think on that note, since we were talking about Bike Week, hopefully
it'll be a bike heavy podcast week for sure.
Those episodes from out there are going to be bike heavy. That's just kind of how our podcast goes. It's just going to be that. But that's going to be expected.
Yep.
People that have been listening long enough, they're going to know, hey, that's do I want to listen to those? Do I really want to talk about a lot of bike stuff?
We're just going to skip that. Yeah. But that's the joy of the electronic world. You can watch the ones you want, not do the ones you don't like, but make sure you like the ones you like.
Oh, absolutely.
So that we know like what kind of topics you like us talking about, because that's how we can kind of gauge how things are going. If we get likes on them, and that's like and subscribe. That's all we can say.
And comments. If you guys hit comments, and if it's something stupid, we'll probably still talk about it anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Megalodons and nuclear submarines.
We haven't done that in a while. Maybe we should
Remegalodon
it. Maybe we should hit those little. Oh, we
could talk about the old sub that imploded.
Ooh, yeah.
No, yeah.
That was the whole thing, and I think that's
when you use the water. That's when you use carbon fiber, which is not designed for multiple repeated.
No
pressure testings. That's why every other sub in history has been made with some sort of metallic thing that can handle that.
That has a plastic level.
Yeah, plasticity.
Plasticity.
Yes, thank you.
There you go.
I wasn't going to say it.
It was going to happen. The dyslexia kicked in.
Yes, my chat GT. I just did it again. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
I can't help it.
But on that note.
Live good.
Ride hard.
And we will catch you next time.